baking in person, but this is the next best thing, and we're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna make some cookies. I hope that you guys all have your recipe that was sent out with the schedule, and today we're gonna be making M&M cookies. They are just like chocolate chip cookies, except you can put any type of M&Ms, any of your favorites. Regular, peanut, mint, anything. So have fun with that. All right, so before we start, I'm gonna let you guys know some of the kitchen rules. For those of you that baked with me with Ace over the summer, you know that the #1 rule is wash your hands. I just washed mine, so you guys take a second to wash yours. And then the second thing is make sure that there is an adult with you at all times. You're gonna be using an oven, you're gonna be using a mixer, and we wanna make sure that you guys all stay safe, okay? #3 rule, no licking your fingers. It's disgusting. If you lick your fingers, then you gotta wash your hands and start all over again. So just don't do it. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go through the recipe and make sure that you guys have all the items that I have listed right here. You need a small bowl. I lost my small bowl already. My small bowl. You need a large bowl, which is right here with my mixer. You need your electric mixer. I have this big stand mixer is what it's called, but you can also use a handheld mixer if you like. You need baking sheets. Mine are right over here, and I've got parchment paper on top of them. Parchment paper you don't have to have, but if you do, it's great because then it helps it so that you don't have to clean as much afterwards. You also need your measuring cups and measuring spoons. I have all sorts of measuring cups here and a couple of measuring spoons here. Your wire racks. I laid mine out right next to my cookie sheets. Those are where we're gonna put the cookies after they're done baking so they can cool down. And that's about it. All right, now that we've gone through some rules and our equipment, let's quickly run through our ingredients to make sure that we have everything. Always double check. All right, we need 2 1/4 cups of flour. Here's my flour. A teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup, which is 2 sticks of butter, and they want it softened. So if you just took your butter out of the refrigerator, let's press pause and let's get that butter softened. You want it to kind of mush a little bit when you touch it, as you see. Now I have to wash my hands. The next we need is a cup of granulated sugar, which is just a fancy way of saying plain old white sugar. Then we need 3/4 of a cup of packed brown sugar. And that is this sugar, and when they say packed, you literally pack it into your measuring cup, but we'll go through that in a minute. Then you're going to need a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 eggs, and 2 cups of your choice of M&Ms. I'm going for the original, so I don't know what you guys are putting in yours, but I can't wait to hear how it turns out. All right, in just a second, we're gonna come back and we're gonna start baking. All right, gang, here we go. Hopefully by now, your oven is preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Mine is, she's all heated up and ready to go. So, first step is, in a small bowl, you need to combine your flour, your baking soda, and salt. So here's my small bowl. Oof, that's heavy. And I need 2 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. So, I was organized. Now, something that you may remember from my baking camp is that you never just scoop your scooper into the flour because you can get air bubbles inside and then you won't have exactly as much as you need. So you're gonna take a spoon, I just have a big old serving spoon, and scoop it into, I have 1 cup here. I'm gonna make a big mess, by the way. I'm a really, really messy baker, but you know, it all tastes the same. So here's my 1 cup, and now I need 2 cups. And we're gonna see if my son, Charlie, who's 12, when he edits this video, maybe this will be all speeded up and it'll look like I'm the fastest flour scooper ever. We'll see. All right, we're all done. Next, we have in this same bowl the baking soda, and we need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Here's my baking soda, and here's my teaspoon. It's just like a cooking class here. The next one is 1 teaspoon of salt. Here's my salt. I already measured the salt with my teaspoon, and in it goes. So now that we have our flour, baking soda, and salt in this bowl, we're just going to combine it. So just use whatever kind of spoon that you want, just to give it a quick little mix, like so. And then we're going to set this guy aside. Where does he want to go? Right here. Just for a little bit. Now you need your large bowl. Let me get rid of this too. By the way, I make a big mess when I bake. It's, you know, it still tastes good. Now you're gonna take your large bowl, which for me is my mixing bowl. And in that, with your mixer, which is here, you're gonna put your butter, your granulated sugar, your brown sugar, and your vanilla extract in. So we're gonna start with our softened butter, and they just go right into the bowl. That was very satisfying. Next, you're going to put your granulated sugar, and we need 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. So I'm going to do the same thing I've done before. I'm going to pour it in here. Can you guys hear me spilling the sugar onto the paper as I go? Oh, a mess. Oh, look, happens to be exactly it. And we're gonna straighten it out with our knife just to make sure we have it all. And into the pot it goes. Okay, next for brown sugar, we need 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, and it's packed brown sugar. So what that means is you do just as it says. You put your brown sugar into the measuring cup, and you take a spoon and you pack it down, because they want you to have as much brown sugar as we can in this recipe. So you pack it down, and I am using light brown sugar right now. They also make dark brown sugar. You can use whichever one you want or have in this recipe. Sometimes that matters depending on what you're making, but in a cookie, you can use whatever you have on hand. I'm just double checking to make sure that was the right amount. So 3/4, and I'm still gonna pack. I wonder if this one's gonna get fast forwarded. I don't know, we'll see. This is my first time ever doing a baking video. So we're packing that in there, and we're gonna dump this in the bowl too. Oh, that was also satisfying. Next, the last thing that we need to put in here is a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Mine looks like this, yours might look different. It's all the same. It smells real good, does not taste good. Don't taste it. This is my teaspoon, and I'm gonna pour it over a bowl so that when it spills, and it will, because I'm a mess, there it goes, it spills into a bowl and not over into your mixture. And let's put that aside. So I'm gonna close that up so I don't spill it. Now we have all of our yummy ingredients in this big bowl, and we're gonna move on over to the mixer. So the directions say, beat the butter, granulated sugar, brown sugar, and vanilla until creamy. So let's give it a spin, and I'll let you know when we're done. All right, we are nice and creamy. I'm just gonna scrape down my bowl and get ready for our next ingredient, which is going to be our eggs. So grab your eggs. Man, I'm making a bigger mess than a clean here. I like to crack my eggs into a separate bowl and then put them into my big bowl, just in case you get some shells. It's easier to get shells out of a little bowl than out of a giant bowl. Seem to have gotten some brown sugar in there. So you're going to do your add your eggs. I'm going to crack one. Wow, no shells. Shocking. And you're going to beat a little bit in between each one. So I'm going to turn it on, kind of a low. That is mixed. The next thing that we are doing is we're going to gradually beat in the flour mixture. Now the important thing anytime you're baking anything and you're adding flour is you don't want to overmix. So we're going to put this in gradually. You'll see how slowly we put it in, and we're going to not overmix. And by the time you're done, you might have a little bit of flour that looks like it still needs to mix up, but we're still going to mix it more when we add our M&Ms. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to turn it on low because it tends to poop. I'm just going to use like 1/3 of a cup or something and just add it in here. And of course I'm making a mess because that's what I do. And we're just going to keep going. I know it looks like I'm doing it fast, but I'm still doing it gradually because, oh, that one was a messy one. And maybe one more like this. I am so making a mess. Who's going to clean this up for me? And then maybe I can get my cameraman to do it. And then that's good. So you can see how good that looks. I'm going to And we need 2 cups of your favorite M&Ms. I have my regular. Now I gotta figure out how to open it. Okay. I did it. Okay. 2 cups of your favorite M&Ms. Here's my 1 cup. Uh-oh, some fell. Now, I do have my cameraman over there. Okay, so we have our cookies on the sheet, and with an adult and your oven mitts, whoa, you are going to put these guys into the oven. Okay, boys, have fun. You're supposed to cook them for 9 to 11 minutes. My oven runs kind of hot, so I'm going to check it at 8 minutes. All right, these cookies are done. Ooh, they are golden brown. So we're going to take these out, let them sit here for just a couple minutes, and then we'll move them to the wire rack with the rest of the friends. Look at how good these look, and they smell amazing. I can't wait to hear how your cookies turned out. So please let us know, and also let us know if you have any ideas for other recipes to do, because I would love to bake with you guys again. So I'm gonna have to try these. Have a great rest of the day. We miss you, and hopefully we'll see you all soon. Bye.